Yo, once again, it's on. We back at you one more again. We in the house like kitchen sinks. Real Kids TVs back at you. You feel me? Feel free to like the video. Hopefully you comment on it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe, share it. Make sure you hit that post notification so that anytime I bring this action at you, you're amongst the first to get it. You know what I mean? Now, with no further ado, I got to speak on Fleece Johnson, man. Again. As entertaining, as funny, as charismatic, if you will, as he is, you know, because everybody loves a redemption story. You know, America, we very, very forgiving. I understand that Fleece was a warrior, probably still is a warrior. He overcame a lot, what them COs did to him, doing 40 flat in the penitentiary. You know, he fought a lot of battles. He wasn't to be fooled with. He was highly respected, highly, regarded, highly feared in some cases. But I got to call a spade a spade. Fleece Johnson be lying like a motherfucker in some of his stories, man. You know what I mean? Now, I was just watching a story. I'm sorry, man. I was just watching a story about Fleece Johnson, right? Actually, it wasn't about him. He was telling the story. And he was talking about how they made a cell, destructive proof cell, that he couldn't destroy because every cell that he was in, he would destroy it. Now, I definitely believe that because I've talked to people and they say Fleece Johnson with his bare hands would pull toilets out of the ground. These ain't your toilets at your house. These is metal, steel toilets. You know what I'm saying? So, he would find something evidently to, make the toilets loose or whatever, rock the toilets loose, and figure out a way to pull them out of the ground. That in itself is very, very difficult to do, but I've heard more than one person say that's what he did. And I believe that. And a lot of his stories, I definitely believe about his, as far as he wasn't to be played with. He'd do something to you in the penitentiary, but his main thing, he didn't like the staff and the guards, and I believe all of that. But, tonight, it just took the cake. The man said he came up with 3 screws. I don't even realize, maybe I'm unprepared for this interview, or this video, rather. Because I can't remember where he said he got the screws at. But he came up with 3 screws and a destructive proof cell that they spent all this money on just for him. And one of the COs somehow heard the screws. I don't know if he dropped the screws. I don't know exactly what it was. But once they realized that he had the screws, they felt like he had a weapon and they came in on him. He knew that he didn't have much time, so the only thing he could do to hide the 3 screws is the keister them. And he takes 3 screws, puts them in a bag that allegedly they served his lunch in, or breakfast. And he wraps the screws really, really tight, and he keisters them. Now, if you don't know what keistering is, excuse my language, but that's just what it is. Something that I've never, ever in life indulged in. He puts the 3 screws in his butt, in his rectum, in his ass. However you want to call it, that's what it is. Now, he's in a cell, mind you, with nothing. Totally naked. They don't give him anything. He's just in a cell. No underwear, no blanket, no nothing. Now, once again, I've never keistered anything a day in my life. I know people that have. I know plenty of people that have. That's on them. I don't judge anybody, just something that I wasn't into. You know what I mean? I'm not going to talk bad about anybody that did it, because I know some of the hardest dudes that have keistered stuff. Just wasn't my thing. But at the same time, I know that, you know, when you keister something, you have to have something to, you know, kind of, yeah, I mean, loosen you up, man. You're not sliding a bag, no matter what's in the bag, but 3 6-inch nails, screws. I don't even know how you would slide that in yourself anyway, and don't want to know. But if you were to try to do something like that, I would imagine you would need something to assist you, you know, some lube or some, you know, some sort of, you know, something. You're not just sliding a bag inside of yourself within seconds, because the goon squad, and that's what they call it in prison, E squad, goon squad, you know, they suit up. They put their fatigues on like they going to war. They got the shields that'll shock you, you know, the batons. They got, you know, the face shields, you know, when they coming in on you, and there's several of them that's coming in on you, and they come fast. You're not going to have time to even do that, even if you did have the proper necessities, if you will, to do those things. And Fleece was just like, oh, I had to think fast because I knew they was coming. So I wrapped them in the bag real tight and inserted them inside of me. Come on, Fleece, man. Like, these stories are very, very entertaining. And they're funny. The guy's a hell of a storyteller. But he's outright lying. Now, people will be like, oh, was you there? Was you locked up with him? I believe everything he says. Listen, man, Fleece, I know he was no joke. I'm from the same state. Never met him, but his name's been surfacing around the penitentiary for years. You know, I did over 10 years in the penitentiary. You know, typically I don't speak on anybody else's name, but once you put your business on the internet, free reign. Same way when I put my information out on the internet, my stories or what have you, I give free reign to anybody that wants to respond or refute or agree or you full of shit, well, you know, whatever the case may be. I put it out there. Come on, Fleece, man. You wrong, Fleece. I understand y'all trying to get your views up. Hustler Spirit, y'all go check it out. That's the podcast, or the YouTube channel, rather. Hustler Spirit. They out of Louisville, Kentucky, from what I know. I know Fleece is, you know, one of the hottest subjects, topics, channels on the internet. But this right there, it took the cake, and I just had to say something. I had to say something. You know, and a lot of people that's never been there, they'll sit back and they'll believe this foolery. And it's entertaining. So maybe it's not for you to believe, or maybe you know that he's exaggerating or just outright not telling the truth. You know, maybe you just enjoy his storytelling, the way he talks, the way he structures a story, presents a story. And as much as I believe him and a lot of the things he says, Fleece is just outright lying right here. You didn't do that. Then he talks about how a nurse went in and removed all 3 screws one at a time, and how embarrassed he was. It's crazy, man. Hey, Fleece is the coldest on the internet, man. He got the internet on pins and needles, because everybody wants to hear what he's going to say next. What type of story is he going to come up with? You know, what's going to be the ending to the story? That guy's funny, man. He needs to be on a stage somewhere. And whoever's recording him and putting these videos out, Fleece said that's his agent, his manager, or what have you. Man, I'd highly suggest y'all book that guy, Fleece Johnson, man, because he's going to keep the crowd entertained. He got his t-shirts for his fans. Fleece say if he wants you, he going to have it. That's on one of his t-shirts. You know what I mean? Another one of his t-shirts is documented. Everything he talks about, he say is documented. I don't know if it's documented, Fleece, but nevertheless, Real Kens TV, hopefully you're not too mad at me, too upset at me. Feel free to comment, like the video, dislike the video, you know, however you feel about it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Subscribe to my channel. I'm a small channel. We're trying to get off the ground, but with integrity. We're not going to just get on here and tell any type of story just for views and, you know, things of that nature. And I encourage you to share the video and hit that post notification. So anytime I bring this heat at you, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive it. You know, I don't really want to get into a habit of talking about another person, speaking on another person or whatever. But it's just gone too far, Fleece. It's really, really gone too far, man. You know what I mean? But get your money. I see what you're doing. I'm watching you. But, I mean, at some point, enough is enough, man. You know what I'm saying? Real Kens TV, man. Salute Fleece Johnson and Hustle Spirit YouTube channel. Y'all go check that out, man. Straight out of the 502 Louisville, Kentucky, man. Kentucky's on the map, man. We out.